day today. I'm traveling. This weekend I'm traveling. I'm going to Southern Thailand, Phuket to be exact. So I live in Northern Thailand. I live in Chiang Mai. I've been living here for the past few years. It's a nice place to live. I like it here. But we're going down to Phuket this weekend because I am racing in my very first triathlon. For the last few months I've been training, like I said in the last video, for an Ironman. Now this race is a shorter distance, but it's going to be good practice. It's going to be good fun. So we're heading down there this weekend, and I have some free time, so you know that I'm going to be shooting down there, bringing the drone, bringing the camera, bringing all my gear. So today I wanted to take a little bit to just show you guys some of the stuff that I'm going to be traveling with down to Phuket this weekend. So this is gear that I bring for, yes, a 2 or 3 day trip like the one I'm going on this weekend, but also for a longer 2-week or month-long trip through China or wherever the hell I'm going. This is all the stuff that I bring on my travel photography adventures. So of course, the first thing, the foundation of travel photography traveling gear is the bag. And you guys might know this, you might not, but I am a bag fiend. I love camera backpacks. I have so many of them, which is not a good thing. I have the Wondered bag, I have the Incase Pro DSLR bag, I have the Thule Covert DSLR backpack, I have a few other ones. And then I recently just got the Low Pro, I think it's the 450W. I'm not sure if that's the correct name, but I really like this bag. I haven't had it for that long, but I've traveled with it a little bit, and it just holds so much stuff. It's just like literally so much stuff. The entire back compartment opens up and you can just put everything in there. In terms of like a separate storage compartment for non-camera things, they don't have that, but the back you can literally put anything, including clothes and everything else that you might want to put in there. On the outside of the bag, I mean, I like that it has like these little compartments here. I can put my passport in there or whatever, and then it also comes with these like attachments that you can attach to the outside of the bag, so you can put here I have my tripod, and then on this side I carry all of my different drone things, so that's great. And then inside there's a flap where you can put a little bit more accessories. So overall, it's a great bag. I really like it, but it struggles with the weight distribution, and that's my biggest concern wherever I'm traveling. When it comes to all of the things that you carry in your bag, which I'm going to show you guys in this video, it's a lot. Freaking gets heavy, man, and especially if the straps aren't up to the task. I'm getting the Shimoda 40 liter soon. Super pumped about that, and I'm going to be doing a review on that. If you guys want to see a review on this, let me know in the comments down below. I'd be happy to do kind of a detailed cinematic review. I think that would be great. But bag aside, let's get into some of the other stuff, and everything that I'm going to be talking about in this video is going to be stored in this bag. So everything that I talk about today, it goes into the bag some way, somehow. Usually just in that back compartment, I kind of squeeze everything in. But first up, of course, we have to talk about the camera, and I shoot with the Sony a7 III. As you can see, it's not in my hands. That's because I'm filming with it right now. I love the Sony a7 III. Before this camera, I had the Sony a7R II, and before that, I had the Sony a6300. So I've always been a Sony shooter, and I love the camera. It's a great camera. In terms of lenses, I have 4 right now. I'm going to be adding one more pretty soon here. But I'm shooting right now with the 35mm Zeiss Distagon f1.4 lens, which is an amazing lens. I love it. It's so good for things like street photography, for video. Like right now I'm shooting at 1.4. Look how buttery the background is. Can you see that? It's really nice. Love this lens. In terms of landscapes, I do use this lens for that because it's so freaking sharp. But I also like to use the 16-35 f4. The reason I have the f4 and not the f2.8, well, it's because I bought this because it was cheaper. But honestly, when I'm shooting at like 16 or 18 or 20 millimeters, which is super wide, I'm not too worried about having a fast aperture. I mean, I have the 35 for that, so I don't really need the 2.8. I would like the 2.8, but the f4 just really gets the job done. I also like to carry the Sony 55mm f1.8. This is one of my first lenses I got for the Sony, and honestly, it's just such a good like go-to lens. It's super small, it's super sharp. Honestly, I don't shoot with it that much anymore because I'm either shooting wide or I'm shooting tight, but for things like street photography or just kind of general photography, you can't go wrong with a 50. 50 is just such an amazing lens. And then of course I have this bad boy here, which I got at the height of my portrait career. the 85mm f1.4, and you can just look in there. It looks so nice. The reason I don't have these covered is just for the video. Usually I keep everything nice and covered, but I really like this lens. It's a great lens. It's pretty big, pretty heavy, but I mean, being able to shoot at 1.4 is so nice. I mean, just getting that buttery smooth bokeh, and it's got a lot of reach too. So I really like that lens for B-roll and just kind of street photography and things like that. But I am hoping to pick up a 70-200 f2.8 next time I'm in the US. I haven't got one yet because they're a lot more expensive out here, believe it or not. Even though I'm pretty sure they're made in Thailand, they're cheaper to buy in the US. Don't ask me why, I'm not sure, but I'm gonna pick one up when I go back home in October. In terms of camera accessories, I recently got this quartz line circular polarized filter from Polar Pro. So that's going to be great for landscapes or whatever, shooting water or like blue skies, something like that. This will really help pull out some of the color, some of the detail in those highlighted areas. So super pumped to try this out. And then I recently got the step up ring so I can use this filter, which is 77mm thread, which fits my 85, but it doesn't fit my 35 or my 16-35. So I got a nice little step up ring just so I can use that filter on those lenses. Another filter I like to carry is the variable ND filter from Fotka. They were maybe like 50 bucks each, not that expensive, but just really awesome, really practical. I don't use these for photography unless I need to shoot wide open on a super sunny day, which honestly I don't usually need to do that because I'm not usually shooting at that time anyways. But for videography, absolutely 100% necessary if you're trying to get some cinematic B-roll with a wide aperture, shooting at 24 FPS on a sunny day. You need to have an ND filter. You need to block some of that light so you can keep your shutter speed at the correct level and then keep your aperture wide open. So I have variable NDs for my 55mm and my 85mm, and as well as both of my other two lenses. So I'm pretty much covered on all bases. And I really love them. They're really great for cinematic B-roll and things like that. Another accessory I love for the camera is the Peak Design strap. I don't know the exact name, I'm sorry. But yeah, the Peak Design strap is awesome. It's like a seatbelt, man. It's so strong. It's really thick and it's even padded. So in terms of comfort, it's really awesome. And then you have the option to hook it either on the sides of the camera, or you can hook them both onto one on the bottom of the camera, which is great too, because then you have kind of that bottom bracket instead of hooking it on the sides. I like to hook it on the sides because I leave the bottom open for my tripod, but that is an option. So next up is of course the drone, and of course I have the Mavic 2 Pro. I got this a few months ago and I was pretty much new to drone flying at that time, but I have shot with this a few times, more than a few times. I love it. It's amazing. It just opens up so many new angles that you couldn't get before, you know? Being able to just fly up in the sky and get some absolutely insane angles is really awesome. With that said, the images are a little bit different to edit, so that's been kind of a learning experience, but overall I've really enjoyed having this thing. A lot of people ask me, do you think I need a drone, Sean? Like, do you think that's something that I need as a travel photographer? Absolutely not. Drones are not necessary, like, whatsoever. Some of my favorite travel photographers, they don't have a drone. I mean, they just do it the old-fashioned way, man. They go out, they hunt the light, and they get some absolute awesome shots. So, not necessity, but it's a cool thing to have. It's a nice little toy. Now, of course, every drone photographer knows that you need to have extra batteries. So I carry 3 extra batteries, which means I have 4 batteries total. I don't know if that's too much. Honestly, I've only used all 4 of them like once. And that was when I was shooting sunrise and sunset and I couldn't charge in the middle of the day. But I just like to have them. Maybe you don't need that much, but you should have at least 1 or 2 extra batteries. One of the other things I just got for the drone are the Polar Pro cinema filters. Basically, they're circular polarized filters as well as ND filters, which is great because if you're shooting video, you want to block light. And then if you're shooting on a sunny day or something like that, well, then that CPL will really kind of help pull out some of those colors in the sky or help reduce the reflection on the water. So I haven't been able to try these yet. Hopefully I'm going to be able to try them out in Phuket, but Polar Pro sent these to me and I'm really excited to test them out. So in terms of the computer, I have a 2018 MacBook Pro. When I got this thing, I spec'd it out. I got 32 gigabytes of RAM and a 1 terabyte hard drive. Honestly, I was pretty disappointed because a few months after I bought this laptop, I spent a ton of money on it. Apple released an updated version with like way better graphics. And that sucks because when it comes to video editing, well, that graphics card is really useful. So I like it. It gets the work done, but I wish it was a little bit more powerful with the graphics card. With that said, I'll probably stay with Apple. I just like the ecosystem. It works well with my iPhone, and it's just a good overall computer. In terms of the dongle, I have this PDI dongle here. It has a card reader, USB, USB-C, and HDMI, and Ethernet, which I never used. But yeah, it's good, it's fast, it doesn't get too hot, and it works. In terms of external storage, I carry the Western Digital My Passport 4 terabyte. It's probably overkill, but I have a lot of files and I'm not always good at deleting them. So this is great because it can just hold so much data. And I also have it backed up on the cloud using a service called Backblaze, where I back up all of my photos and files to the cloud. So everything is protected, even if I do like lose my laptop or lose my hard drive, which that would suck. I really hope I never lose those things, but if I do, it's all backed up on the cloud. So for tripods, I usually carry at least one. The one I'm shooting on right now is the Manfrotto B-Free. It's the aluminum travel tripod. I picked it up in Vietnam when I was there last time, and honestly, it's great. It gets super small. I can attach it to my backpack, and it's just great. I like that it's so small. It's not the lightest tripod in the world. They do offer a carbon one. I don't have the carbon one. That's a lot more expensive. The other one is this Joby GorillaPod. I think this was like the best one when I got it. I think it's the Focus, I'm not sure, but it's great. You guys have probably seen this before. It's light, it's portable, it's versatile, and it's great if you're kind of running and gunning, or if you want to shoot YouTube videos, you don't want to bring your big tripod with you. I bring the big one because I'm shooting landscapes, but this is a really good option, and you can kind of attach it to things, and it's really good for things like vlogging, or just kind of, like I said, running and gunning and shooting some videos. So in terms of the mic that I travel with for videos, right now I'm shooting with the Takstar, and I will bring this with me in the backpack. I had a Rode mic, but it broke, so I've been using this one instead. And honestly, I really like it. It's great. It was like $30 online. I mean, there's not much more you can ask for. The audio quality is really good. It's durable, and it fits in my backpack, so I really can't ask for anything more than that. The other thing that I can't not mention, because I've learned to live with this thing, I absolutely love it, is the RAVPower power bank. It's 26,800 milliamp hours. I think that's what MAH stands for, whatever. It's really good, and I can charge my phone on this like 5 or 6 times, and then I can also charge my camera, and it charges really fast. You can charge with USB Type-C or just a good old-fashioned USB, and I really love it. I use it every day to charge my phone. I charge this, and then I charge my phone from this every night, which is kind of weird, but it's just nice to be able to not be connected to the wall. So this is something that I highly recommend if you're going to be traveling. Pick one of these up because it's going to save your life at one point or another. With that said, guys, that's all of the things that I travel with, whether it's a 2-day trip down to Southern Thailand or a 1-month trip through Europe or wherever I'm going to be going for a long period of time. This is the camera gear that I always travel with, and I absolutely love it. If you guys want to check it out, I'll put links in the description down below so you can check all of these items out on Amazon. And if there's anything that you think that could make my life easier as a travel photographer, or something that you just really love to travel with in terms of photography gear, or just something that makes traveling easier, I would love to hear about it. So leave a comment down below talking about that. But that's all I got for you guys today. I got to get packing because we're leaving for Phuket tomorrow morning, and it's already evening here in Chiang Mai. So I got to get going. Thank you guys for sticking around, and I will see you in the next video.